Right, a great good evening to you wherever you find yourself. This is the First Capital Plus Premier League show live on the Joy Sports channel and Multi TV. I'm George Addo Jr. Tonight we're going to have a look at what happened over the weekend. Loads of interesting happening because you look at the way Accra Hartlepool lost to Liberty Professionals by 3-1, and the fact that Kumasi Asante Kotoko didn't get that win at the Golden City Park has actually made this league quite interesting. So tonight we'll be looking at all the permutations. Now when you get down to the bottom of the league as well, the relegation battle is getting very, very interesting. But of course on the show as well tonight we'll be talking about the league itself and what we are doing in terms of branding. First Capital Plus Bank is in it. They have put their monies in it. But how much are they reaping from the league just early season? So we'll be having them in the studio. I'll be finding out from them exactly what is going on in terms of branding. We'll have some pictures on the screen and everything so that you can actually follow the discussion right here on the show. Remember, you can always send us your text messages through the short code 1760. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, there's a lot to talk about. This is the First Capital Plus Premier League show. Right, thanks for staying there with us. It's still the First Capital Plus Premier League show, and there is a lot to talk about tonight already. Loads of stuff happening at the top and really at the bottom of the table. Tonight there's a lot to talk about, and I have lovely gentlemen in the studio who are going to be doing that with me. First of all, I have Kofi Asare, who has been actually on the league. He's from Lava Firm. He's been watching a number of the games, and he has great insight into that. Kofi, thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thank you very much, George.
Great. I also have my coach, well, our coach, lovely coach, Eben Sifa, joining us today, and of course I'm sure we're going to steal a lot from him again in terms of what he knows about the league. Great talent he is. Coach Eben, how are you doing?
I'm good.
And how was Zambia?
Zambia was fine.
Oh yeah, I can see. You're looking more, I mean, light eye and everything. I think Zambia was very good, guys.
Thank you very much.
Right, so anyway, let's talk about what happened over the weekend. We'll first of all start with that stunning win. Liberty Professionals beat Accra Hartlepool by 3-1. Now, you know what? Accra Hartlepool getting into this game, we're hoping they'll get all those 3 points and hope that Kumasi Asante Kotoko do not win. Kumasi Asante Kotoko did not win, but the Hearts didn't win either. Here are the highlights.
If you just join us on the World of Champions, this is the Corridor Park. It's with 23 fixture, Liberty Professionals and Accra Hartlepool. So first, and look at Philmon. And Liberty may have a first goal here. Liberty Professionals. And of course they have scored against Accra Hartlepool against the run of play. Where were the defenders? Michael Appiah gets Liberty the first goal here at the Corridor Park. And look at how ecstatic they are. Chucked up off from McCarthy. There was no way he could stop the run here.
I don't want to talk about Philemon McCarthy. Benjamin, continue. I told you that he was unfit. I told you he could not go in for the clearances. I said I shudder to think what will happen if Philemon McCarthy receives a back pass. Look at it once again. He was not fit to go in for the clearance. It was visible. I don't know why the bench decided to keep him on. And Michael Appiah will be credited for that goal, or with this goal. It took a deflection of the body of Sule, although Cisse finally had a last touch to the ball. Look at Michael Appiah, Liberty Professionals leading scorer, going past Sule and goalkeeper Philemon McCarthy. You know, last season when he nodded in 14 goals.
And again, Kingsley Kisi has been tested twice ever since he came on to replace Philomena McCarthy.
And Cisse is proving to be a good striker. Look at, you know, his vision. You know, he saw space there and slammed in that shot, but a single-handed shot just before the halftime whistle. And it's been impressive. They've improved in the second half with the way they've been attacking Liberty and Hartlepool.
Hartlepool did that against the run of play. Liberty scored. And so it could definitely be a reverse scenario for the two sides in the second half, if possible. Yeah, Tamu Munchawi here for the corner kick. Right-footed one for Liberty Professionals. Liberty gets the second goal here. They have scored. What a corner kick. And what a goal for Tufo Frimpong. Well expertly taken. And indeed, He soared amongst everybody to not home the goal. He conceded a goal after he came on. Goalkeeper Kissy.
You know, I told you, Hearts of Oak, they just don't have confidence in this goalkeeper. You know, if he were up, you know, I just don't understand. But he just didn't, he just didn't come to compete for that ball. He was stuck on his line. The ball came in, and Tufua Frimpong had a field day to head that one in. Good corner kick there from Muntari Topdo.
A chance here for Hearts of Oak to reduce the goal scoring feat. Of course, they have scored a goal. It's 2-1, and they will be in the game. Ashite Olenu, he has been so mobile in the game, and he's proven to be the man to rescue Accra Hearts of Oak. But again, watch Libre Professionals. They have been very, very sluggish in defense, especially after scoring 2 goals. He picked the ball midway the half line, and of course, doing so well to slot home. It was a beautiful 1-2 play from Accra Hearts of Oak.
A nice wall pass, and question about defending the Libre Professionals who have to sit up. Winfrey Kobna did well with a decisive pass, and the finishing also clinical from Alenu Oshite. Turning out to be kingmakers. Alfred Nelson, who came on, sent that one diagonal ball. It was controlled well by Nimo, and then a thunderous strike. Goalkeeper Kingsley Kissy completely beaten. And where was the marking? Shocking. Goal number 3. And House of Oaks title challenge now intact.
Understand football. This is football. You understand? But you know, the most painful thing, they don't even understand the way. They just want to win. You have to see what really, you know, happened here. I mean, we play football, and this is football. But you know, they need to encourage these young ones. You understand? But it's unfortunate they don't understand football. If people don't understand football, it's very difficult, you know, for you to, you know, see the way forward. Yeah, of course. We had the opportunities. We had the chances. I mean, we could look at the way should there have been a draw. And you can even imagine in the first half what the referee did. It was a goal. What the referee was doing. But, you know, it's not necessary to complain because we didn't take our chances. So, I mean,
Thank you very much, Coach.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it is difficult when you go away matches. But at home, I promise you, we're taking all the 3 points.
All right, so you just heard Coach Mohamed Polo over there. We'll be dissecting everything he said over there. Well, some of the fans do not know football. But if you don't know football, why do you follow football? Well, it's interesting. I know you have a lot to say about that. Let's hear from you on the short code 1760. You also heard from George Lamptey, who is the coach of Liberty Professionals, and they do a fantastic work, I have to say, at the Carl Randolph Park. Now, though, let's hear from acting CEO of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Pokunti, and he says Asante Kotoko will definitely win the league.
I think they should think of Mediama instead of Kotoko, because Mediama will have is having 3 more matches to play, and when they are able to go through, they will overtake us and become second. So I think instead of us looking onto Kotoko, they should look their back.
Is that to say that Kotoko has already captured the league title ahead of time?
Till now, I would say we have captured. Well, we have lost, but I think the downfall of a man is not the end of his life. I think we will bounce back. We always bounce back after we have taken these losses. But one thing is sure, that sometimes complacency sets into the boys, knowing that you have 12 points, and the attitude that you go in for certain matches have to change.
All right, so there you have it. Of course, you heard it clearly out. The Pokunti says they're going to win the league. First of all, let's have the results on your screen now. We'll take some attention, or pay some attention to what's going to happen right now in terms of how the goals were going through. But first of all, Coach Ebenezer, let me come to you. Let's talk about Opokunti saying that they're definitely going to win this one. But you want to talk about Coach Mohamed Polo and his troubles. He looked very much disturbed, like when they lost 3-0 to All Stars at the Accra Sports Stadium.
Yeah, of course. Opokunti, you cannot take anything away from him. There's no way he's going to say Kotoko is not going to win the league. Kotoko is leading the league by 12 points, and now it's 8 points. And there's no way Opokunti is going to say that. He's left with how many matches to go?
Yeah, we are talking about 7 games.
I think the last time I was here, 2 weeks ago, you asked me and I said Kotoko has not yet won the league. And as he was saying, Midiama is doing very well. They have 3 outstanding matches to play. They'll be playing Wild Stars tomorrow, and hopefully they are going to beat Wild Stars. And then I think that Kotoko needs to focus and then concentrate on their matches that they have ahead of them, instead of coming out to say that we've already won the league. Look, I think that the league has not yet been won by Kotoko.
Oh, he said he was very, very confident.
And I'm saying that, yes,
we have won the league, and even Accra Hearts should look backwards instead of forward. I mean, look back, and you might lose your second position.
And I'm saying that there's no way Prokoti is going to say Kotoko has not won the league.
That's right.
You understand? Asking Mohamed Polo, he may tell you that Accra Hearts will come and then win the league or possibly catch up with Kotoko. There's no way any of them is going to say this or that. But what I'm saying is that Kotoko should focus on the league and then concentrate on what the matches that they are ahead of them. Come Sunday, they are playing Bechem United, and I think they're going to have it very tough. And if you look at Bechem United, they have about 3 or 4 boys from Kumasi and Kotoko against Okra. For me, the best player in the local league for now. And then you have their centre backs team, formerly the captain of the Kotoko reserve team. They have Dazi and some of the boys in there who are poised to show the Kotoko faithfuls that they are very good, but it's unfortunate Kotoko let them went our way. And so I think that...
So you think Accra Hearts definitely should be looking at it, but Kumasi and Kotoko also have to concentrate on winning the games.
Of course. You look at the Inter-Allies. The last 2 weeks that I was here, what did I tell you?
Yeah.
I told you that unless you've not watched Inter-Allies play,
they're playing fantastic.
They've picked about 5 players from the Waffle tournament that was held in Kumasi.
You made the point.
And now that those boys are now gelling into their squad, you know Coach Addo, you all know what he can do. Sure. Now they are third from the bottom of the league table. They have Adriana beneath them, they have Duas beneath them. Nobody thought of that. What I'm saying is that the clubs that are ahead of all these clubs should watch out. The league is not over until it's over.
Right, let's have a look at the results there. Now, Bechem United drawing 1-0 with Inter-Allies. Augustine Okra scored again, and that means that he's up to 10 goals, just one behind Seydou Bansi. He's actually confirming what you said. He's about the best player in the league.
I'm saying he's the best player in the local league as speaking.
Now,
because you look at Seydou Bansi, during the first round of the league, he has a partner with Yaya Mohammed.
That's right.
Yaya Mohammed being so strong, very powerful on the ball, with or without the ball. And if you watch the number of goals that Seydou Bansi has scored,
feeding off Yaya Mohammed
completely.
Course. That's right.
And since
the
tournament was over, Yaya Mohammed came back with his problems here and there. How many goals has Seydou Bansi scored?
Coach, you make the point. You make the point.
You understand? And during the second round of the league, count the number of goals Augustine Okra has scored. That should tell you that that boy is coming up. And I'm telling you, we have a lot of things to look at.
Kobe, let's talk about Ashanti Gold, and I know why I'm talking about that. You probably understand why we have to talk about Ashanti Gold. They managed to beat the Adriana Stars by 2-0. Very important in there for Coach Bashiru Hayford. Is it over, the troubles for Ashanti Gold?
Well, you can't say so. It's not over for Ashanti Gold. They started the league very well, but they lost it in the second round. They didn't start very well for them. 5 winless games starting the second round, and it was a very torrid time for them. This win against Adriana Stars, and let's not forget, Adriana themselves are not doing very well in the league. They lie second from bottom. That's after Inter-Allies, and then they lie.
So it's not, they shouldn't make too much noise.
So it's not something that you should be very excited over. Ashanti Gold have still got problems in there. They should be able to patch things up. They've got some good guys in the team. You've got Joshua Tijani, very enterprising left back, but he is one of the men who really pushed Ashanti Gold in the first round. Enterprising runs from the left side, bringing in very good crosses. Emmanuel is very strong, very powerful.
Critically, it's the troubles are not over yet for Ashanti.
They are not over.
They need to impress
I think they're not. The players seem to have a problem with them psychologically, and that's where Bashiru should really work on, because they seem to be playing very well, but whenever it gets to killing games, they just can't do it. They concede needless goals. Against Kotoko, we saw it. 4 goals, most of them could have been avoided, and I think that's where the problem is. Psychologically, Ashanti Gold players are not really up there.
We'll have a look at the league table right now on your screen. And Coach Eben, let me come to you. Liberty Professionals continue to do this. They beat Accra Hearts by 3-1. They beat Kumasi Asante Kotoko. They beat Hazakis. It's all happening at the Carl Randolph Park. What is happening there for Liberty Professionals?
Liberty has got a young and talented players. Notably, most of them are from Deportivo, from Kumasi, Asokwa Deportivo, and they have the likes of Michael Apia, who scored
Michael Apia, we saw Anthony Nimo. These are guys you just don't know of, really.
These guys have been there for, I think the last season they were with Liberty. Just a few of them, like Kwame Bouan, who is now with Mediema, and they have Ebenezer Sefua, who is now in Switzerland, and the rest of them. As remind you, this guy Kennedy Ashia is back with the team, and he is the engine of the team. They have their captain, which is the chap who was with the local Blasters, that is the centre back.
Is it Nelson?
Alfred Nelson, yes, of course. Thank you very much. That's Alfred Nelson, a very wonderful centre back. He urges these boys to remind you he's been in the national team before. He's gone outside the country and back. Yeah. And they have the likes of George Lamte and then Felix Abuaji at the bench, and then Salastete, of course.
So it's good work they are doing. It's not
of
just
course,
because of the ground.
And when you go to Liberty's training ground, you see the kind of work they do. They train there every morning. You could see the kind of work that they put in. And these are very young boys put together. They have one particular Muntari from Mighty Jets, formerly of Mighty Jets, a great player, a great midfielder. So these boys have been put together, and you could see them play against Kumasi Asante Kotoko. People thought it was just a fluke. Seeing them playing against Accra was a great goal. Look at the goals that they scored against Accra. So Liberty professionals, as George Lamte, the coach, said with the interview that he had, he said what? Home matches they are going to win all. They can go away and have a draw or whatever they lose, but for home matches they are going to win all the matches.
Let's talk about that relegation battle, which is looking very, very interesting. And Coach, I'll be coming to you straight away. We'll have it on your screens in terms of the number of games left for them. Ken Faisal, yes, there is. But let's talk about Ebuswan straight away, because they have a coach in J.E. Sapong, but he lost down there to Ken Faisal. That is a notable loss because of the number of games we have and how crucial that can be. What is the story for Ebuswan Dwarfs? Are they really going to get out of this?
Ebuswan Dwarfs needs to go back to the drawing board. Last 2 weeks, I said something about Rashid Idi, the assistant coach of Ebuswan. He's been there for 4 or 5 years or so.
There's no faith in him.
It's not about faith. Professor Minta was in the helm of affairs. He's been with Professor Minta. We all knew what Prof can do or what Prof did with Ebuswan Dwarfs. What lessons did he learn from Professor Minta? Coach J. Sapong, we all know Coach J. Sapong. He's been with the Great Olympics, Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Okoro United, Accra House of Folk. He's been with the Diana and all these clubs. He's been doing well, goes down there, comes up with the clubs. What is Rashid putting in for Coach J. Sapong to do? And come to the players of Ebuswan Dwarfs. Psychologically, is it working for them? They were in Africa, they were doing well, they were exit of the Africa Confederation Cup, they came back, they lost to Mediama, they went all the way, and they've been losing matches. And
Coach, does it look at this point, does it look like Ebuswan Dwarfs will go out of the league with what we have? I know we have 7 games left, yes, there's Coach J. Sapong and all.
They need to work very hard.
They might be in hot waters.
They might be in the hot waters, because if you look at the number of matches left for Ebuswan Dwarfs to play, and the kind of result that is coming out of their matches, they need to watch out.
They need to watch out. Now let's talk about the Adriana Stars. They also have a very, very serious situation out there. Coach Bogdanovic, I mean, it's a bit of topsy-turvy for him. He moved from Bechim United, now in the Adriana Stars, lots of issues there. But do we say they are going to the Adriana Stars already?
Well, it looks very dangerous for them. They've got some very, very, very big games coming up. There's the Brown Hartford derby against Brecum Chelsea. They've also got Bechim United, who are doing very well.
They have Heart of Lions, they have Liberty Professionals.
Pando, that's going to be a very dangerous game for them. Heart of Lions defeated Kumasi Asante Kotoko, even at the Babara Sports Stadium and back there. It's going to be a very big game for them. Liberty Professionals, even on the road, are very tough customers. They are going to come there, play some good football, and Ediana have got a very bad defense.
But you see, the interesting thing about all of this, Coach, is that yes, we know these teams are close to relegation, but nobody's able to come out and say strongly that, okay, these teams are going. But Adriana Stars, nobody's mentioned that anywhere. Adriana Stars are former champions, and they have it in them to play well. You made the analysis that they have players, they have to probably, reshuffle the pack that they have, Coach Aben.
Yes, I did say that.
Can you say on authority that Adriana Stars might go down?
Of course, they might go down. I talk about Godfrey Saka, I talk about Steve Adams, I talk about their skipper, and I talk about a couple of their players, Emmanuel Alan, I talk of a lot of their players, Daniel Dakwa and the rest. How long have they been, and Ekuako and the rest, how long have they been with Adriana? They've been there for 3-4 seasons, so they have nothing to lose.
Even if they go down.
There's no competition, there's no pressure from
them. They've won it before.
They've won it before, they've done it before.
I think you make a critical point there. They've won it before, so there's everything there is.
They need challenges.
Okay.
Adriana needs to put in more, because this players has been there and there's no pressure. And you go to Nana Jimabedu's park and Godfrey Saka plays a game and he doesn't do well. Who goes to challenge Godfrey Saka? Who goes to challenge Emmanuel Alan? Stevie Adams can be in the goal post, concede any goals. Who goes to challenge Stevie Adams? They need a competition in the team, and there's no competition in Adriana as I speak.
Okay.
So they need to watch out. Other than that, Adriana can go to relegation.
Adriana can go to relegation. Now, Kofi, I'm going to leave you with Inter Allies, and we know what the story has been. I mean, for most part of the season, everybody said Inter Allies were definitely going down. That's not the case now.
Well, they are playing some good football. Since Addo took over, they brought in some players to from
talk
the
about
Wafu
Kabori and the
tournament.
likes, some very key players,
And they are playing well for Inter Allies. We saw Prosper Kasim also banging some goals with them. Sadat Karim has joined them, formerly of Accra.
Look at the next fixtures.
They have some tight games coming up, but if you've got Inter Allies very well, they're a side which is very difficult to score against. They've got a very good build-up play. They've got a lot of home matches coming up.
Four home matches. They can win all.
And that's a very big advantage to them. And they are 2 points clear of Aduana Stars. And that gives them a very good advantage to stay in the league. Aduana Stars, they have a very precarious situation as compared to that of Inter Allies, coming up against Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Brekum Chelsea, Bichim United. So Inter Allies seem to have a very good foot when it comes to the relegation battle.
All right, Kofi, let's go through the fixtures right now for the weekend. Let's have it on your screen now. They're going to be interesting games. Kofi will go through this very, very quickly. Of course, Coach Eben, later on in the show, I'm going to give you a shot at that when you go through my drill, and he's going to be giving us the prediction. But Kofi, let's look at this. The fixtures are Inter Allies up against Hazakes, Wild Stars, and Medaras, Mediema up against Ken Faisal, Drops up against Ashanti Gold, the Aduana Stars, Liberty Professionals, Hearts of Oak, Hearts of Lions. Now, let's talk about that game. What a game. Hearts of Oak need to respond, but you can respond against Hearts of Lions.
Pick of the week. That's absolutely one of the top draw games. Hearts of Oak, very terrible times for them. Mohamed Polo not winning games. He complains consistently about the lack of experience in his team. He's got guys like Winford Kobna who are very enterprising, but when it comes to killing games, they can't do it.
They can't kill it. And there's a Hearts of Lions side who have the energy. They beat Kumasi Asante Kotoko. They beat
Kumasi Asante Kotoko home and away. And Yusuf Abubakar is doing some very good work with the
Who would you go
side.
for
It's one of those ones, one experienced player, Marshall in the midfield of Heart of Lions, and I think it's going to be very difficult for Accra. A draw for Heart of Lions will be a very good result for Hearts of Oak.
The other game you have to talk about is the Kumasi Asante Kotoko Bichim game. I think you're going to be there, that game. I'm sure about that. It's spot on. You're going to watch that game. No doubt about it. You're in Kumasi. Lava Pep. Okay. Oh, you're not going to be there. You're going to leave me in Accra.
Well, we can't watch that game together. Okay, let's sit next to me.
Obviously, let's talk about that one. Asante Kotoko up against Bichim United. Great game. Coach Tom Strand up against Didi Dramani.
Kotoko need to respond very well. They lost a game before going up against the Brekum Chelsea last weekend, and they have to make sure they win against Bichim United because they've got 9 points. Any loss at this point will give their competitors some more energy to fight harder. It's going to make the run-in very, very keen, but Kotoko need to respond. The fans have to get back into the stands. You should see the stadium at any time Kotoko lose a game before they come home. It's going to be empty if they don't respond. The next game at home is going to be a very, very boring game in terms of spectating. So they have to respond and also make sure that they put a marker down. They lay the marker that, hey, we've won the title. We are preparing for next season. Catch us if you can. And let's make a statement.
Thank you very much, Kofi Asari. Of course, we'll take a short break here. When we come back, there's a lot more from Coach Eben Tifa. And of course, we'll be joined by Nalea Okese of the First Capital Plus Bank. It's now time to talk about the branding. Yes, our football is getting interesting. I'm sure you're getting so excited about everything that's happening. Okay, well, depending on where you're standing, if it's Accra Hearts of Oak, I don't know. If it's the Aduana Stars, I don't know. I do hope that your team does very well. At least my team, Inter Allies, is doing very well. Short break, we're back into this. All right, thanks very much for staying there with us. It's still the First Capital Plus Premier League show. Now, time for one segment I love as well, the First Capital Plus Premier League news, just telling you what has been happening during the week, at least after the games were on during the weekend. Loads of issues run into the week, so let's have it on your screen now, and I'll go through that very quickly for you so that you can follow exactly what's happening in the league. Well, it's First Capital Plus League, but I don't want to call it a super fantastic league. We have it here. Very exciting, you know, in terms of all that happens. There you have it now. Abeko Innocent is insisting that he's going to quit Kotoko if they fail to retain the title. Now, a number of Kotoko guys have come up with real strong words that they are going home with the First Capital Plus Premier League trophy. There you have it. So fantastic. That is it. The story. We'll move on to the next slide in terms of our news, picking up a lot of things as well. And we stay in the ranks of Kotoko. There's another story that Didi Dramani probably might not stay in for the next season. But here's a super one. Kumasi Asante Kotoko raking in 120,000 Ghana cedis, yes, from Superbet's deal. There's a new deal on for Kumasi Asante Kotoko that's going to make them richer. And, you know, there's an adage that says that the richer you get, the more problems you get. You know what I'm talking about with all that happened with Dr. Kiki Sap. And we hope that this time everything will go smooth. What Samir J is saying, he's blaming the fans for, you know, the drilling fortunes of the players. He says, look, our players are not giving their best. The professional players don't want to come back, really, because the fans don't, you know, cheer them on. When they come back, they want you to cheer them on, but it's not happening. You say, oh, Sami Kufu, after what is he playing? I mean, you went to, America and whatever. You're not playing well. He says that please watch it out and push the fans out there. That's Sami Ajay there. And what do we have here again? There's another Kotoko man. So we have a three. Opokunti says, Abeku Nelson says, and now you have D. Dramani himself. He says, we will win the league. He's a Muslim, so I can say inshallah. So that's it. D. Dramani putting that there for you. Now, well, there's an incident that happened at the Karendorf Park. You know, there was a Hearts fan that was beating up for making, some funny runs at David, at Coach Mohamed Polo, saying that, oh, we'll sack you, David, we'll go and bring David Duncan. And the fans were like, my friend, don't talk to our coach like that. He might be under pressure, but the right thing must be done. And this is also going to be looked into. I'm sure the ethics committee is looking ahead to that. And of course, how we get all the disciplinary committee sittings and everything, I'm sure they're going to definitely look into that. That is not allowed. Last week, we talked about hooliganism. And if you're a fan watching us, I know you're a fan, you love the game, you must be very careful with your particular conduct when you go and watch games at the centres. Enjoy the game, but don't get too emotional about it. I've been joined right now in the studio as well by Nana Yao Kesi. Nana Yao, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
That's right. And Coach Eben Sefa is still here with me, so we can talk some more. And we'll first of all get into talking about the branding of the league. First Capital Plus Bank have come in with a huge sum of money. Yes, we know that. But how are they getting themselves out of this? Now, on your screen, we're going to have some of the pictures rolling from various centers, as we could collate, in terms of what happens there when games are ongoing. And I'm sure Nana Yao Kesi will be having a look at that. But before that, let's talk about it. You have put a lot of money into this, and we're happy that you came at the right time. The clubs are happy. But how much are you reaping from this?
Basically, I want to say that it is not about how much we're reaping now. For now, our key focus is to put in the hard work, because there's a lot of work to be done. It's like going to write an exam. Your focus is not just to go and pass, but you need to study hard, then you pass. So for now, our focus is on doing the hard work. And if we came in pretty late, so there's a lot of hard work to be done.
I understand. So maybe you have to probably explain to us what the roadmaps are, because lots of people get worried. You're like, what's First Capital Plus Bank doing? We don't see any branding anywhere, apart from probably when there are games. And we'll have some of the pictures so you understand what we're talking about. This is our league. It's the elite division here. It's the biggest one, and we're selling it out there to Super Sport. We're selling out there to the world. You talk about not coming in. We understand that. You came in fairly around after the first half of the season. But the question is, what are the roadblocks? What are you planning there? What is going to happen?
Thank you very much. I'm very happy that I'm here today, because I think it's critical that I clarify a few issues.
Okay.
First of all, it took First Capital Plus Bank just about a week or two to become sponsors of the league. Trust me. And then our focus was to sign the contract before the league resumes. So we signed the contract on the 4th, and the league resumed on the 5th. So our focus was just getting the paperwork ready. I mean, for us, we thought that, well, some sponsors were coming on board, because in the media you could hear some names being bandied about. So we had no clue that the league was available for sponsorship until we were told. And as I said, it took us just about a week or two. So after signing the contract, we then had to look for the right agency with the right experience, to take care of the branding and a whole range of issues. And then we also had to, as a matter of fact, we divided branding into two, indoor and outdoor. Indoor branding regarding branding of the stadia itself. We were doing pitch panels, doing center mats, we're doing tunnel mats, we're doing a whole lot of things. We're doing telescopic flags for the various stadium and all that. Ash Gold, as a matter of fact, has even offered us extra space for branding. So we're doing a whole lot of things. So we had to take our time to even select the right agency with the requisite experience. So this agency we're working with is a Ghanaian agency, but they have international experience from Kenya and South Africa. So sometimes you realize that the branding has not been done in various centers. That is true. But I can assure you that by the end of the season, a lot of these things will be in place. I mean, we are conscious of it. And one thing that makes me happy is that it looks as if the media is paying critical attention. It looks as if the media is showing a lot of interest in the league. They show a lot of interest in our sponsorship. Otherwise I don't think I'll be here today talking about branding related issues. And it goes to show the concern, the deep-seated concern and commitment that the media has, with regarding the sponsorship of the league by First Capital Plus Bank, and that makes me happy.
Well, yeah, there's more. There's more. We'll get into him and try and get everything out of him in terms of getting this working. But of course, let's talk about some others who also are there and are watching and are quite, pretty frustrated with what's happening. Let me talk to Coach Eben Sifa. Coach Eben Sifa has been, I don't know, I think you've probably been to every Premier League ground, including every Division 1 ground. Should I add that? Every Colts ground. That might be just too much. But let's talk about the Premier League because that's what they have sponsored. Yeah. And you go there day in, day out. I mean, week in, week out. You don't see the branding. What's the frustration out there? What you hear from the fans and all?
Well, as you said, it's very frustrating, and you could see, you watch a lot of matches, watch of games, in the foreign games, you see kind of branding and kind of advertised by sponsors and stuff. But First Capital Plus, as he said, they came in very late. Very late. I think they need to do a lot of work. And as he said, I think come next season, I think they're going to put in a lot of work. But this particular second round of the league, we've not seen enough of them. Especially you go to places like Doma, you come to Takwa, as I was saying, where Mediama plays his matches, you don't see much of First Capital Plus labels and stuff over there, you understand? So I think that there are a lot of work to be done, and I think he's here and he's saying it all. And I think that they have a lot of work to do to make it big come next season.
Well, let's talk about this because we have seen other sponsors come in the league. We don't see them really stamping the authority. We don't want that to happen. Initially, when we had Glow and the likes, we said there was supposed to be compulsory pre-match, interviews and post-match interviews. The clubs were compulsory. They had to do it. I don't know what the terms are now. That's the danger. That's why we are already putting on the red lights as media men and sports journalists. Because we have seen a number of companies come in this league, and at the end, funny somehow, they complain about not getting the mileage. And I think those are one of the things that went into the Glow situation. But we also believe that you have a responsibility to stamp your authority on the league. We don't want you to go that way. That's why we're very worried about it. So just getting to know, are we on the right path? We hope that it's not just something you're saying and it's just going to pass. We'll have to bring you back here the next year, the next 2 years, the next 3 years, and probably get tired of it and not talk about it again.
Thank you. Let me assure you that it will not happen. First of all, we have a working committee made up of First Capital Plus Bank executives, the GFA, the PO, Mr. Brown, PI himself sitting to the meeting, and we have a consultant as well, the consultant who brokered the deal. So we meet every Thursday to brainstorm about issues relating to the league. So we see ourselves as one unified team, with a common goal, the goal of elevating the standards of Ghana football. So it's not about First Capital Plus Bank on one side, GFA on one side, PLB on one side. No, when you have that integrated, unified approach, you have a common goal. You sit together every week to discuss issues. When you have concerns, you raise it there. You hit them hard. You get your feedback and everything. So for us, it is not necessarily on us on one side. But then when you have, I don't know what pertained in the past. I don't know what type of working relationships the previous sponsors had.
But you think you have a better relationship with it?
Yeah, for us, that is critical. Before we came on board, though, it took us just about a week or two. Within that particular week, we had to do a lot of work, a lot of research. Various departments, my department, marketing, corporate affairs, business intelligence, the business development, technology, all of these departments had to come together, to analyze the league and come up with a document from their perspective, for the board.
Let me ask you this. I'm not going in. I don't want you to, get all the details of that contract for us. But I want to find out, for instance, in the contract, was there any part of the contract that says that you need to see those post-match and pre-match interviews?
Yeah. Let me add that. Look, our league, the First Capital Plus Premier League, is not. It's supposed to be a very professional league. But then we cannot sit here and kid ourselves and say, oh, we were running a professional league.
No, I mean, some of the things are, elementary professionals that have the pre-match conferences. Don't allow the, you see, the problem is you don't allow the media men to be calling you on phone. You have 1,000 media men call you on phone, have a press conference, let it be branded. It's on television, the mileage is going.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm coming to that.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, there are certain systemic issues. And those systemic issues have been there as a result of the norm of the way we do things. Probably the clubs have been comfortable doing things in a particular manner. All of those things are going to change. Because for us as sponsors, as I said, we need to do detailed analysis of the issues, and we're working with an international, with an agency with international experience. That is very committed to bringing professionalism onto our league. So going forward, for now, as I said, we just came in. We're putting together bits and things. But then going forward, all of these things will be factored into the makeup of the league. you know, it will be factored into the league schedules. You know, for example, for next season, we're looking at the situation where even the time for the pre and post match press conferences are factored into the schedules that comes out and all of that. At the end of the day, there are also a whole range of issues that we're discussing that I may not want to talk about on air now. But rest assured that First Capital Plus Bank is deeply committed to ensuring that the First Capital Plus Premier League becomes Africa's topmost league.
Yeah, we're talking a lot about First Capital Plus Bank and how they have to run the league, but we have to work hand in hand. So I'm going to put Coach Eben Sefa in an uncomfortable position. It's actually going to talk for the coaches. Now, Coach, can you explain to me why? Because you have a lot of tell-a-tell with all the coaches. I know that. You speak to all the coaches. What is the problem? Why don't they want to have pre-match conferences and post-match conferences? They don't want to have it. When they win games, sometimes you get the post-match. When they lose games, no.
No, I think the PLB needs to be tough on the coaches. Because when you go out there, for instance, when Mediama went to Zambia to play Sesco on the CAF Confederation Cup, right after the game, we had our coach Carlos Polet, and then one of the players, Michael Hellegbe, sitting down with the Sesco's coach and a player. Very wonderful. See the pressmen there, all sorts of questions coming in there. Everything was settled. You understand? But here in Ghana, you find it difficult. A coach loses a game.
But you know, Coach, we've had, I know, I mean, in the past seasons, we've had Ibrahim Sanidar come out and say they are compulsory, but somehow they are not compulsory. When the games are on, they don't want to do it.
So are there any punishment for such coaches or such clubs? For instance, when the coach wins a game, he is so happy, he wants to speak to the media. When he loses a game, you call him, you want to speak to him, you want to grant an interview or something, he will tell you, no, I'm going back to the dressing room. I don't want to talk about the game, I'm going now. It's very, very boring and it's very bad. We have First Capital Plus Bank sponsoring the league, coming in late, helping the clubs, you understand, helping the clubs and everything going on well for the clubs. This particular second round, you could see how strong the clubs that were under the league table coming up so strong because of First Capital Plus coming in to support the clubs in terms of financial issues and stuff. And after a game, a coach will refuse to grant an interview or do the post-match interview and stuff. It's very bad. So I think the PLB and the FA has to come together. Make sure that any coach or any club that fails to do that, there must be a kind of punishment for them, and so that it helps our game. It's on Super Sports, you know, and Super Sports is viewing it live everywhere. So what is wrong with our league?
It's very, enjoy sports.
It's very bad.
Beamed across the world.
So I think that the PLB needs to be tough on this particular rules, and I think it's going to help our league.
Now let's talk about other things, because I've had a number of people whisper into my ears, talk to me over and say, are you really going to be branding the jerseys and all? Going to have an idea. What's it going to look like? Are you going to step on it? Do you have in your contract? Do you have the chance of branding the jerseys as well?
Yeah, of course. Those issues are basic actually. You know, all the jerseys are going to be branded. We're going to have the patches on the jerseys. As a matter of fact, we're talking to a few clubs that do not have sponsors to see the feasibility of actually branding. You know, having the First Capital Plus Bank in front of the jerseys as well. I mean, as I'm talking to you, we've delivered all the jerseys for the ball boys, 3 different sets of jerseys.
Oh, that's good. I mean that's good. But it's just that sometimes we feel that there is some preferential treatment when the game is going live in Super Sports and when the other games are not going live. So what you do with a Super Sports game is excellent. We see the branding, everything is so colorful, and the rest of those venues, we are trying to get the pictures, and you have
true. I mean, what you're saying is true, but that was because of the timing issues. It was because of the time we came in. So the plan was to start the branding with the live matches, and then roll over, to the rest of the match centers. So, for example, Accra, for example, we've done the branding for the pitch panels. We've done for Boise. We've done for the Kumasi Sports Stadium. We've done for Bicham, Breakum as well. So basically, bits and pieces we're getting there.
There was another thing there's another thing you guys talked about. We said that in Ghana music is up there, and we're thinking about marrying music and football to see if we can get more people to watch the game. So there was this suggestion about getting the artists, because if I was going to watch Inter Allies and Bichim United, and I knew that after that game there was going to be Sako there, or right before there was going to be Edem, or there was going to be one artist, it's going to pull some more people to the pitch. And you guys talked about it a bit when you guys came in. What's happening?
Yeah, I mean, as a matter of fact, we've done 2 so far. Last week, Wednesday, when Kumasi Asante Kotoko played Heart of Lions, we were there. We took Becca, we took Juwalaka, we took a band like the Miracle Wave Band to perform, you know, heavy equipment to perform. And then we showcased the trophy as well. And then on Sunday at Liberty Park, where Liberty Professionals played Accra House of Folk, we had a live band music as well to entertain the fans.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I think that's not bad. That's not bad. I think that's a step in the right direction. But are you seeing some fruits already? Has it changed? If you tell the people there's going to be Becca coming around, does it change anything?
As a matter of fact, because we've not been in there for too long, I may not be able to tell. But then we've tried it on an experimental.
Okay, I think luckily, just to save your breath, we have this. Let's find out. When the trophy was on, there was some live band music. Let's look at it.
The official sponsors of the Ghana Premier League, and of course making sure that the fans get the opportunity to have access to this Premier League. Look at how...
Okay, well, that's interesting. Well, I don't want to go too much into that story and what happened to the trophy, well, and whether it was accepted in terms of the spirit of Kumasi wanted it or not. Well, we'll get back into that. We'll get into that one, but of course, it's fantastic. You were making a point that during Herbert Mensah's time...
Yeah, I was saying that during the days of Herbert Mensah with Kumasi Asante Kotoko, before Kotoko play a game, you see Lord Kenya coming on stage, Pat Thomas and the likes coming on stage, and you see the crowd. Even Kotoko losing at home, the next game you see the crowd coming because they are going to see Lord Kenya performing, they are going to see Pat Thomas and this gospel artist be on stage. So I think it's a very good and I think good idea of First Capital Plus coming in with these ideas, bringing the artists to come and on stage before a game or after a game. It's also going to bring the supporters back to the stadium. I think it's also going to help they coming in to sponsor.
Yeah, because we want to see a lot more from you guys. I don't know how far this one has gone in terms of who's winning the trophy and what Kumasi Asante Kotoko is taking. It looks like they're going to win this for the third time. If they win it for the third time, have you guys come to a conclusion yet?
We were supposed to meet last week, but because we had to travel to Kumasi, we couldn't meet with the GFA. But my attention was drawn to the fact that Kumasi Asante Kotoko have won it 2 times already.
Yes, see, the win is 3 times.
Yes, and if they win this one, they're supposed to kick it.
They should take a trophy home. I don't know if it's your trophy or something else.
So
you're yet to decide.
Yeah, that is something we have to discuss with the GFA and the POB. But then, if you ask my opinion as Nana Akesi, as an individual,
are you willing to give it to them? To go for kicks?
For me, as an individual, I believe that, you know, Kumasi Asante Kotoko is playing in a Ghanaian league, in a local league. That's the league they have been playing in, irrespective of the sponsor. So if, as per the rules of the FA or the PLB, it states categorically that, look, if you win 3 times in the trot,
carrying it away.
Yeah, you get to keep it, you know, you get to have it for keeps.
You're willing to give it to them?
For us, as a bank, I mean, we may not have to belabor this, but as I said, I cannot give any definite, you know, information.
I think in the Constitution, we'll have to get to the Constitution, what they actually say about it.
It's actually a technical issue that we may have to discuss.
Yeah, I know the Kumasi fans definitely want to get that trophy back. They want the new one, and I'm sure you can probably bond with them. You have a red tie. That's Kumasi Asante Kotoko tie. So you probably want to bond that. Now, time to go through our drill. We just have some few minutes together. Well, let's go through the drill. We'll have the fixtures on your screen now. It's what I call my drill, and I drill anybody who comes to the show and trying to push the pressing to give me what the prediction or what its prediction will be. Actually, they don't often get it wrong because I look at what Maxwell Sabra did last week. It wasn't bad. So I'm coming to you, Coach Eben, and we're going straight away. Let's first of all start with the first game. It's you actually on it today. So let's go, Coach Eben Sefa. Let's start with Inter Allies Hazakis. What's going to be the scoreline? Who's winning?
Inter Allies is winning. They are winning by 2-1.
Okay, so Inter Allies fans, I'm sure you're excited out there. Hazakis, I hope you don't attack him after the show. Now, Wa All Stars up against Amida's Professionals.
Wa All Stars is winning by a lone goal.
You see, Coach Eben, the thing I like about him, he's so confident about it. He's just going, he rehearsed that. I'm sure he rehearsed it. Midiama SC up against Ken Faisal.
Midiama will be taking Ken by 2-0.
It's good to know. We'll have you back on Wednesday, so you keep on predicting. Ebuswa Dwarfs up against Ashanti Go.
It might end in a 0-0.
0-0 draw. Yeah. Final answer, 0-0 draw.
0-0.
Adriana Stars, Liberty Professionals.
Adriana will be winning by a lone goal.
Adriana Stars will be Liberty Professionals?
Yes.
That's a big call.
Adriana will win by a lone goal.
Okay. Heart Civil, Heart of Lions.
I foresee Heart of Lions beating Accra House of Folk at Accra Stadium.
You don't have any mercy for Coach Mohamed Polo?
It's not about mercy. It's about what you can produce on the field of play.
You think Lions will beat them?
Lions going to Kumasi to beat Kumasi Asante Kotoko. You see the kind of game that they play. Across the board going down against Liberty Professionals, and there's a lot of talking going on. If they are not able to psych themselves up, if we see Heart of Lions beating across the board by 2-1.
New Edubiase Brecum Chelsea at the Gemfix Park.
I foresee Edubiase going away with a lone goal.
I also saw that somehow because I mentioned Gemfix Park. Now Asante Kotoko became United.
A big game for Kotoko. Kumasi Asante Kotoko can win this game. Let me go this way.
Yeah, I like the uncertainty about this one. This is a tough one for you.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one because of the guys that Bechem United is coming up with. They are just from Kumasi Asante Kotoko going to Bechem United.
So what's your prediction?
It's going to end up in 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw?
Yeah.
Nana, who's going to win the league?
Yeah, of course, this is a question I cannot answer.
Oh, I'm just asking you. Okay, you don't know who's going to win the league?
No, I have no clue.
Okay, now Midiama SC is playing tomorrow. Now let's talk about that.
yeah. Midiama is playing Wild Stars.
Yeah, Wild Stars tomorrow.
Game.
And of course, Liberty Professionals have against Brecum Chelsea as well.
The kind of game that they put up, the kind of performance they put up in Zambia, and I think that the likes of Theophilus are not bad. Kofi Jare, you have God bless Asamoah, and then Hans Kofi, who came in the second half against Esco, doing so well. Although they lost by a lone goal, going to play Wild Stars at their home ground.
You think they can win?
Mediama is going there to beat Wild Stars.
Hands down.
Hands down.
What about Liberty Professionals, Brecum Chelsea? They play them again at the Car Randolph Park. Very crucial, critical. Liberty win?
Liberty is winning against Brecum Chelsea.
Well, it was very easy to talk about all of this. Nana Yaukes, you refused to answer any of my questions in terms of the league. Are you going to give me one team you think will be relegated?
No, but then...
It's a hot zone. I'm not sure if Coach Eben can give me that.
You see, but sincerely, I must say that I am impressed with the standard of football. You know, for example, on Sunday I watched Liberty Hartlepool. And sometimes when I hear panelists saying that Polo should be sacked and all that, sometimes I wonder, because I think that in football, sometimes circumstances can just contrive to go against you.
Right, I think that's what happened at Accra.
Yeah, because if you watch the game against Liberty, Liberty played good football.
Hartlepool played
some fantastic football, and they made some good chances as well. So as I was telling somebody, I think I've forgotten though, that look, you're missing these chances, and at the end of the day, the coach is going to take the flak.
That's it.
You know, sometimes a player can dribble about 5 players and score a fantastic goal, and the coach is like, oh, the best coach in the world.
Well, I think you were doing fantastic. Well, it's some hats out there for Accra Hartlepool. But you see, Coach Mohamed Polo says, if you don't know football, that's when you're going to say he's not played football when football has been played. So watch out next time. And if you don't know football, start studying football, because there's good football in the First Capital Plus Premier League. I love this. Thank you very much, Coach Eben Sifa, for joining me. Thank you very much, Nana Yaukes, for joining me as well. And a big thank you to Kofi Asari of Love FM. I'm George Addo Jr. Have a good night.
Madrid.